Students, good morning. Now I am discussing the applications of Newton's universal law of gravitation. See this one. Now see. Consider two spherical bodies. These two spherical bodies having radii Kepler and Kepler from their center. These two radii are separated by a distance d. These two radii are separated by a distance d. In between them, the gravitational force of attraction is F. In between them, the gravitational force of attraction is F. Now, the force between two objects, that means two spherical objects, is given by, generally we know that F equal to capital G into m1 m2 by d square formula. First body having a mass m1 and second one also having mass m2, and also here I am taking two identical objects. For identical objects m1 equal to m2. For identical objects m1 equal to m2. So we know that mass m equal to volume into density. Now I am taking the sphere. Sphere has a volume is 4/3 pi into r cube into rho. 4/3 pi into r cube into rho. This is the mass. Mass m equal to 4/3 pi into capital R cube into rho. So now we can substitute capital M value in F, formula F. So we will get F equal to capital G into 4/3 pi into capital R cube into rho into again mass 4/3 pi into capital R cube into rho divided by d square. See this one here. Now F equal to, or F is rightly proportional to, here both are having the radii r. Here capital R is approximately equal to d. Then we can take it as r cube into rho into r cube into rho divided by r square. So r square in r cube, r square cancel, remaining 1 is there. So F is rightly proportional to capital R power 4 into rho square. Rho is the density of the given material of the sphere. This is the formula. F is rightly proportional to capital R power 4 into r square. Capital R power 4 into r square. Next see. Null point or neutral point. What is null point or neutral point? We will see. What is meant by null point or neutral point? Now see, null point or neutral point. Now consider two objects. These two objects having masses m1 and m2. These two objects are separated by a distance d. Now when I place one of the unit body, that unit body having a mass m, that mass m is placed in between two masses m1 and m2. Now here m1 and m are separated by a distance x. m1 and m are separated by a distance x. Now the remaining part is d minus x. That means small m and m2 are connected by a distance here d minus x. See here, in between m1 and m, the force F1 is acting on it, and also in between small m and m2, the force F2 is acting on it. So here What do you mean by null point or neutral point? The point where the gravitational force of attraction becomes zero. The point where the gravitational force of attraction becomes zero, then it is called null point or neutral point. So, see here, at point M only here, null point. At null point, the gravitational force becomes zero. The gravitational force becomes zero. So, you can equate F1 and F2. So, here at a null point here, the F1 and F2 both are in equilibrium. So, that's why here F1 equal to F2. F1 is acting between M1 and M. At the same time, F2 is acting between small m and capital M2. So, now for F1, the gravitational force is acting between M1 and M. So, that's why capital G into M1 into M by x square is equal to capital G into small m into M2 by d minus x whole square. Capital G into M1 into M by x square equal to capital G into M into M2 by d minus x whole square. Capital G cancel, small m cancel. Now M1 by x square is equal to M2 by d minus x whole square. Small m1 by x square equal to m2 by d minus x whole square. Now you can take cross multiplication. So we will get d minus x by x whole square equal to m2 by m1. m2 by m1. Now here see, d minus x by x equal to root over m2 by m1. Now d minus x by x is in the form of a minus b by c, that is a by c minus b by c. So here d by x minus 1 equal to root over m2 by m1. So d by x equal to root over m2 by m1 plus 1. Now x equal to d by root over m2 by m1 plus 1. So this is the null point. X equal to d by root over m2 by m1 plus 1. This is the null point. Okay now? At any case here, null point means here the gravitational force becomes 0. Now we have to apply the formula x equal to d by root over m2 by m1 plus 1. Root over m2 by m1 plus 1. Now see. Relation between small g and capital G. What is the relation between small g and capital G? Here small g is acceleration due to gravity and capital G is universal gravitation constant. Universal gravitation constant. See here. Now I am considering the surface of the earth. Now I am considering the surface of the earth. Earth has a center O. From center to surface of the earth, its radius is capital R. From center to surface of the earth, its radius is capital R. Now, the mass of the earth is capital M. When you place a small object on the surface of the earth, that small object having a mass M. But the gravitational pull is always acting downward direction, so that its weight of the body is mg. Its weight of the body is mg. So here, and also one more thing, we know that the gravitational force is acting between two objective masses, that is capital M and small m. Capital M and small m. So we know that F equal to capital G into capital M into small m by r square. F equal to capital G into capital M into small m by r square. We know that here F is gravitational force. So that's why small m into G equal to capital G capital M into small m by capital R square. Small mg equal to capital G capital M into small m by r square. Small m cancel. Now small g equal to capital G capital M by r square. So this is the relation between small g and capital G. From this one, we conclude that capital G is universal gravitational constant and capital M is mass of the earth. Here capital G and M both are remains constant, then small g proportional to 1 by capital R square. Small g proportional to 1 by capital R square. So from this one, we understood that as the separation, as the distance between mass of the objects increases, the gravitational value decreases and vice versa. So this is the relation between small g and capital G. Okay na? Now see, now we can prove that the relation between small g in terms of radius and density. Small g in terms of radius and density. So relation between small g in terms of radius and density. See here, we know that small g equal to capital G capital M by R square. Small g equal to capital G capital M by R square. Now we know that mass equal to volume into density, that is 4/3 pi into R cube into rho. Previously already discussed. Now we can substitute the value of M in small g. Let small g equal to capital G capital M by R square. You can take it as equation 1, and mass equal to 4/3 pi R cube into rho is taking it as equation 2. Now put 2 in 1, comma, we get, put 2 in 1, comma, we get small g equal to capital G into 4/3 pi into capital R cube into rho by R square. R square in R cube, R square will cancel, remaining R is there. So small g equal to 4/3 pi into capital G into R into rho. Small g equal to 4/3 pi into capital G into capital R into rho. So this is the relation between small g in terms of radius and density. For example, here if they are considering two masses, these two masses having radii r1 and having density rho1, and another one is having radii r2 and density rho2. Now the ratio of acceleration due to gravity are given by g1 by g2 equal to g1 by g2 equal to. Now what is this? From this one we have concluded that small g is proportional to capital R into rho, because 4/3 ratio constant, pi ratio constant, capital G ratio constant, remaining R and rho only variables. So g1 by g2 equal to r1 by r2 into rho1 by rho2. This is the ratio of acceleration due to radius of the two objects when they are given radius and density. When they are given radius and density. Now see, how can we have to find the density of the earth? How can we have to find the density of the earth? That is rho. Generally from the relation small g and capital G, small g equal to capital G capital M by R square. Small g equal to capital G capital M by R square. From this one we can write it as mass as small g into R square by capital G. Small g into capital R square by capital G. But what do we have to find? We have to find the density of the earth. So density equal to mass per unit volume, that is mass by 4/3 pi into capital R cube. Mass by 4/3 pi into capital R cube. So density rho equal to send 3 to numerator, we will get 3m by 4 into pi into capital R cube. 3m by 4 into pi into capital R cube. See here, capital M equal to small g into R square by capital G is taken it as equation 1. Now rho equal to 3 into capital M by 4 pi into r cube is taken it as equation 2. Now we can substitute the value of 1 in 2. So put 1 into comma we get, put 1 into comma we get rho equal to 3 into mass small g into r square by capital G by 4 pi into capital R cube. So that is rho equal to 3 into G into R square by 4 pi into capital G into R cube. R square in R cube, R square cancel. Remaining is rho equal to 3 into small g by 4 pi into G into capital R. So this is the density of the earth. Rho equal to 3 into G by 4 into pi into capital G into capital R. 4 into pi into capital G into pi R. This is the condition. If we take small g equal to 9.8 meter per second square and capital G equal to 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square, and the radius of the earth r equal to 6.4 into 10 power 6 meters. If we substitute all these values, we will get the density of the earth is 5.5 kg per meter cube. This is the density of the earth. And also one more thing, mass of the earth is 6 into 10 power 24 kg. Mass of the earth is 6 into 10 power 24 kg. Now see, generally the value of small g changes from place to place, height to height, and also at a depth. So g value is not same everywhere. Okay na? Is not same at everywhere. It value changes from place to place, height to height, and a depth also. And also even though it will change at a latitude also. Okay na? Now we will see the different conditions, how the small g value changes at different positions. Now see, first one is variation of small g with altitude or height. Variation of small g with altitude or height. How the g value changes with altitude or height, both are same only. See this one. Now I am considering the one of the surface of the earth. This is O is the center of the earth. From O to surface, its radius is capital R. Now you can lift a body of the mass small m. You can lift a body of the mass small m, and it is lifted to a height h. From where it is projected to center of the earth, its total distance is r plus h. Its total distance is r plus h. When the object is placed from a certain height, its gravitational force is acting on it, that is mg into h. Fg equal to mgh is acting on it. Now here the mass of the earth is capital M. So there is a force of attraction is acting between mass of the earth and mass of the object. Now the gravitational force of attraction between capital M and small m is given by capital M and small m is given by. See here, gravitational force is given by Fg equal to capital G capital M into small m by r square. Fg is nothing but mgh. Fg is nothing but mgh is equal to capital G capital M into small m by total distance is r plus h whole square. Total distance is r plus h whole square. Okay na? See here, small m cancel. Small m cancel. Now remaining is small gh is equal to capital G capital M by r plus h whole square. Remaining is small g equal to capital G capital M by r plus h whole square. So we know that capital G capital M equal to small g into r square. From the relation small g equal to capital G capital M by r square. So we can substitute capital G capital M equal to small g into r square. We will get gh is equal to g into r square by r plus h whole square. G into r square by r plus h whole square. But also one more thing here, as height of the object is very much small, radius of the earth. Because radius of the earth is nearly 6.4 into 10 power 6 meters. If you lift the object at a height of nearly 100 meters or 200 meters or approximately 1 kilometer only, that is 1000 meters. But 6.4 into 10 power 6 means 6400 kilometers. So that's why as compared to radius of the earth, height of the object is very very small. So that's why we have to neglect the h value. As height of the object is very much less than capital R, then neglect h value. So the equation becomes as gh is equal to small g by send r square to denominator. We will get r plus h by r whole square. R plus h by r whole square. So now we will get gh is equal to g by 1 plus h by r whole square. In which case we have to apply, as height of the object is very much less than height of the radius of the earth. In this case only we have to apply this formula. See here, gh is equal to g into 1 plus h by r whole square is in denominator. Now we can bring into numerator. We will get g into 1 plus h by r whole power minus 2. 1 plus h by r whole power minus 2. 1 plus h by r whole power minus 2 is in the form of 1 plus x whole power minus n. That is binomial expansion. 1 plus x whole power minus n is nothing but 1 minus x. 1 minus nx. So gh is equal to g into 1 minus 2h by capital R. This is the variation of small g with height. This is the variation of small g with height. Gh is equal to g into 1 minus 2h by capital R. As h is the height of the object and capital R is the radius of the earth. Now see. Now the value of the g changes by factor. How much factor? In percentage, how can we have to find? Generally we know that gh is equal to g into 1 minus 2h by capital R. Now delta g by g into 100% is equal to, delta g means here change in value of acceleration due to gravity, that is g minus gh, because the value of acceleration due to gravity is more at the earth surface, and which is less at height or altitude. So g minus gh by g into 100%. So that is g minus gh value is g into 1 minus 2h by capital R whole divided by g. See here, g, you can multiply 1 minus 2h by r with g, minus g into 1 minus g, minus into minus plus g into 2h by r, that is 2h by capital R whole divided by g, plus g minus g cancel, then remaining is 2gh by capital R into g. G cancel, that is 2h by capital R into 100%. Therefore, delta g by g into 100% is equal to 2h by r into 100%. This is the value of the g, the value of x, change in value of g with height. That is delta g by g into 100% is equal to 2h by capital R into 100%. Okay na? Now see, in our previous case we discussed about variation of the g with altitude or height. Now in this case we have to discuss about variation of small g with depth. That means how the value of small g changes with depth. Now see this one. Now consider the surface of the earth. Consider the surface of the earth. Now if you dig the object, that means if we dig the surface of the earth, now it becomes like this. Now it becomes like this. See here, this is the depth D, this is the radius R, from center to the surface of the earth, radius R. But the remaining small portion is how much? R minus D. But the remaining small portion is R minus D, this part. We know that small g equal to 4/3 pi into capital J into capital R into rho. Now when you place the object where you dig that point, that block has a mass m. Now see this one. This is the value of g. That means the earth has a mean density rho. So small g equal to 4/3 pi into capital G into capital R into rho. Now if we consider the acceleration due to gravity at a depth d is given by gd equal to 4/3 pi into capital G into R minus d into rho. R minus d into rho. So now we can take a small g equal to 4/3 pi z into R into rho, equation taken as equation 1, and J and acceleration due to gravity at a depth d is given by 4/3 pi into G into capital R minus d into rho. Now we can take the ratio, equation 2/1 is given by gd by g equal to 4/3 pi into capital G into R minus d into rho by 4/3 pi into capital G into capital R into rho. 4/3 pi into capital G, 4/3 pi into capital G cancel. Rho cancel. Now gd by g equal to capital R minus d by R. Capital R minus d by R. It is in the form of a minus b by a. That means 1 minus d by R. So gd by g is equal to 1 minus d by R. gd by g equal to 1 minus d by R. Now gd equal to small g into 1 minus d by capital R. This is variation of small g with depth. This is the variation of small g with depth. See this one, g proportional to 1 by R now. So that's why the value of the g changes with depth. Now see, now we can take the percentage of small g with a depth. Now that is delta gd by g into 100% is equal to g minus gd by g into 100%. So delta gd by g into 100% is equal to g minus g into 1 minus d by R by small g into 100%. So by solving this one, we will get delta gd by g into 100% is equal to g minus g minus g cancel, plus g into small d by R, that is g into small d by capital R by g, remaining is d by R into 100%. This is the change in value of g at a depth. Now if we take the value of change in gravity with a height and depth, then their equations are delta gh by g into 100% is equal to 2h by R into 100. Similarly, delta gd by g into 100% is equal to d by R into 100%. In problems they will ask GH is equal to GD. If acceleration due to gravity at height is equal to acceleration due to gravity at a depth, then GH is equal to G into 1 minus 2h by r is equal to G into 1 minus d by r. Small g cancel, 1 cancel, remaining 2h by r equal to d by r, r cancel. So then 2h is equal to d, 2h is equal to d. So h equal to d by 2, h equal to d by 2. That means that the height is equal to half of the diameter, half of the depth. Okay na? This is the variation of small g with depth. ఇక్కడ జనరల్గా ఏంటంటే నిన్న హోంవర్క్ ఇచ్చాను మీకు, మీరు సిన్సియర్గా చేయండి. మీకు ఇచ్చినవి కూడా నేను ఎక్కువ ఇవ్వట్లేదు, మీకు మ్యాక్సిమం 5 or 6 ఇస్తున్నాను. ఆ 5 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కూడా మీరు సిన్సియర్గా చేయండి. ఆల్రెడీ ఇంతకుముందు ఈ అప్లికేషన్స్ అన్ని క్లాస్లో చెప్పాను. ఒకసారి ప్రీవియస్ నోట్స్ కూడా చూడమ్మా. ఒకసారి మనం ప్రీవియస్ నోట్స్ కూడా చూస్తే మనకి ఈజీగా అర్థమైపోతుంది. ఓకేనా? మనకి ఈజీగా అర్థమైపోతుంది. దట్టు ఏంటంటే మనం పర్ఫెక్ట్గా నేర్చుకోవాలి. ఏదైనా ఇది ఇన్కంప్లీట్గా నేర్చుకున్నారనుకోండి, రేపు ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్కి మీకు ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది. ఆల్రెడీ నేను ఫేస్ చేశారు. సో మీరు ఎక్కడ స్ట్రాంగ్గా ఉన్నారు, ఎక్కడ వీక్గా ఉన్నారో ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి. దాన్ని బట్టి స్ట్రాంగ్ అయిన పాయింట్స్ ఇంకొంచెం స్ట్రెంథెన్ అవుతూ, వీక్ అయిన పాయింట్స్ మీద కూడా మనం కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేస్తే డెఫినెట్లీ యూ కెన్ సక్సెస్. ఓకేనా? డోంట్ వేస్ట్ యువర్ టైం. దట్టు ఏంటంటే ఇంకా ప్రతిరోజు ఏంటంటే మీరు ఫిజిక్స్ క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు మీ దగ్గర ఉన్నటువంటి ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ బుక్ ఉంది కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఐఐటి వాళ్ళకి అయితే ఐఐటి మెకానిక్స్ ఐఐటి పార్ట్ 3 అండి, అందరికీ పార్ట్ 3 బుక్. ఐఐటి వాళ్ళకి కానీ ఎంసెట్ వాళ్ళకి కానీ నీట్ బుక్ కానీ అది మీ దగ్గర పెట్టుకోండి. నేను మధ్యలో వాటిలో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇస్తుంటాను. ఓకేనా? ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ.